Hello everyone, my name is Dio Morales and we are here watching the top 8 round of stage 3 of the Mandalore Open here at San Antonio. My name is Dio Morales, host of the Gold Squadron podcast, and today I am joined by the CEO and president of Curled Paw Creators, our sponsor for all of today, Andrew Knuckles.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
And my partner this weekend, Peter Fu.
Thank you so much for that kind introduction, Dion. Our primary goal today is to take a more journalistic approach for the broadcast of premier X-Wing events. At the front of the house, you'll see numerous changes to our UI, consistency of format from match to match, and a dedicated team member supporting our game state and screen states. This also means that we'll be respecting the fourth wall, meaning that we won't be getting directly involved in any issues relating to judging. The only exception to this policy will be if the marshal requests footage for instant replay purposes. And speaking of which, Dion, can you tell us a little bit about today's marshal and the floor team?
Our marshal today is Brent Wong, and our floor judges are a list of names that I had yesterday.
Did y'all make mention there's no scum in the top 8?
Oh yes, we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. We'll get those names here for the floor judges in a moment, but I do want to mention our players as we get that. We have Dan Murphy here. He is playing Quad Wookies with Wookiee Commandos, and Nami Lee is playing 3 new squadron pilots with Harpoon missiles, long-range scanners, and a Quickdraw with Veteran Instincts fire control system, lightweight frame, and special ops training. I know that a lot of people look at these lists and say, oh God, really, we're going to watch gunboats versus Wookiees. The thing is, this is what's interesting, I think, is that these are 2 lists and ships that we know that are really, really good. They're common in the meta because they're strong. Here, Dan Murphy's win condition is that he has to be able to take out 3 new squadrons or quick draw and a new. And Nami's like, I need to focus and start getting one of these Wookiees down at a time. So Dan needs to be patient and be able to force Nami to spread around his damage, and Nami's going to be focusing on focus firing. So it's going to be, I think this is actually going to be a much better match than people look at it on paper.
It's going to be very, obviously very positional, and then kind of like you said, you have to try and figure out a way to get around having be focus fired with the Wookiees, because they do go down fast. Once you start getting 3-4 dice attacks going into them with harpoons.
So I think that's a really good point, Andrew. And one of the privileges of being able to watch all the games yesterday, Dion, was that we were actually able to see Dan Murphy play yesterday. Once again, Dan Murphy's from the Houston, Texas area, representing Apollo Squadron, and has placed several times in top speed ending in numerous regionals. To his opposite side is my good friend and colleague Nami Lee from the Kessel Run podcast. Nami represents Dallas from the NTX crew, and he just wanted to say hi to anyone in chat that wanted to say hi to Nami himself. He advised that he will be monitoring the Twitch chat, so he will be taking down names to see how friendly you are. And Dion, as a quick update, were you able to find those floor judge names?
Yeah, so our floor judges today are Mark Sebo, Gene Hogel, and Bobby Vowels.
Wonderful. And Brent and his team of floor judges have done an excellent, excellent job, both prior to the commencement of ceremonies yesterday and during the rounds themselves. As many of you know, Brent published his community rules that would be enforced during this PAX System Open. And regardless of whether you agree with all of the rulings or not, I think it was a really stand-up move and professional move by Brent to let everyone know, let everyone have advanced notice of what all was going on, especially with interactions with TLTs, harpoons, when the harpoons triggered, and everything like that. So we can't thank Brent and his floor team enough for how good of a job they've done. And just as a side note, out of all the people playing yesterday, we heard of no instances of people trying to troll Brent or getting upset with Brent's rulings, partially because everyone had advanced notice of how Brent was going to rule every call. So again, I think that speaks to how great of a job Brent and his team have been doing so far.
I'm going to be taking a moment here, and I'm going to be labeling our Wookiees and our boats because they're all generics that are not painted and have no way to tell them apart. So we're gonna do that.
And while Brent does that, and we have this lull in the action, I'd also like to thank our general sponsors, Cascade Games LLC, and their team lead here, Steve Cameron. Steve has been helping Dion and myself from day one on trying to get this thing set up and gotten together. Steve has been an absolute gentleman in terms of trying to get us power, getting us access to the facility, and he even got us media badges, which were incredibly important in allowing us to enter the facility early to set up.
Oh yeah, we would not be done like setting up until like 2 or 3 rounds in if we didn't have this.
Yeah, so Kashyyyk Games, thank you so much for allowing us to be the exclusive and provider of today's broadcast, and we hope to be able to work with you soon. Lastly, Steve wanted me to let everyone know that there will be a system open on the weekend of February 17th in Portland, Oregon. That's Andrew Bunn country. So we hope to see you all in Portland, Oregon. And Steve wanted me to let you know that everything is 10% off on the Kashyyyk Games on-site store for our Gold Squadron podcast listeners. So if you have a friend that's on-site and needs something, whether it's a single, L5R, some X-Wing gear, Magic gear, tell them to head over to that Kashyyyk Games booth and get you something good.
And I want to say that our top 8 game is sponsored by Curled Paw Creatives. Curled Paw is the leader in third-party acrylic tokens and templates. Whether you order their designs or commission your own, you will be sure that they will look and function great on the table. Go to curledpawcreatives.com to visit their shop. Lots of cool stuff there. Andrew, can you tell me some of the cool doodads you got going?
You know, we have templates, tokens, all that kind of stuff. But I'm also working on getting out new jam tokens and the new rattle condition, stuff like that. So look out for those pretty soon. It's it's always fun seeing the amount of enthusiasm that the X-Wing community has for I'll say plastic crack, I guess.
Absolutely.
Andrew, can you walk me through some of the processes that goes through creating these acrylic pieces of art? I mean, we see them all the time now and you've become the exclusive provider for almost everyone in the game of template making now.
I mean, it's luckily having a laser makes it pretty easy. It's kind of my robot slave at this point. And
make me plastic crack, robot slave.
I just, after the design process, I go through a couple different rounds of measurements and cutting them and doing more tests and coming back on and making sure that everyone likes them. And then, tokens are a little bit easier, but the process is a little bit harder because I have to paint them and all that kind of stuff. It's a fun process. The laser makes it a lot easier, though.
Oh yeah. So let's take a look in the action here. We have the new squadrons have that Wookiee number 4 target lock. They have them in her sights, and looks like Nami might be just out of range 3 of that Wookiee.
Ooh, I don't.
Maybe
it's going to be really.
It's going to be close. I think he might get him with N2. I'm wondering if the angle from N1 will make it work.
Yeah. Now N3 is probably going to be just out on that one.
All right, what we want to do here is we want to do our predictions of the game. If you think Dan Murphy has the edge in this game, give us a number 1. If you think Nami Lee has the edge, give us a number 2, and we'll see how our predictions turn out for the match. And here we go. We got the first shot coming in. 3 dice from Quickdraw on Wookiee number 1. And it looks like with Reinforce, he's going to be taking one shield on Wookiee number 1. This looks like a primary on Wookiee number 1. Throws an evade. He's fine. Checking for range. He is just out. Same target. 1 hit. Reinforce. Same target. 1 hit in the focus. And Reinforce. And so we only did 1 shield of damage there in that turn. It's pretty expected. We know that Wookiee number 4 is out.
Yep. Now I will say I do like Nami's approach here, kind of spreading out his boats and kind of putting them all in a cluster. It gives him a little bit more of a spread to come in. It kind of blocks off some avenues of the Wookiees.
I'm wondering here. So we know that the max speed that Dan can go with the Wookiee is 4. He'll want to try to close the range in order for number 4 not to get wrecked by harpoons. The 4 forward, take like 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the base. I mean, I think the 4 forward puts him in a good spot. He'll right. He's
That's
gonna.
how you play Vassal, Leon?
That's how I play Vassal.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's the right way to think about it. You got game. Or you threw me off my game. What was I talking about? Base lengths.
Well, I think this next turn, pretty much honestly, just doing a 4 straight with number 4, and then probably slow rolling with the other 3 to kind of get a good range 2 or range 1 ban on everything. Is gonna really hurt Nami going into this next engagement.
You know, guys, I'm getting a little worried for Nami because I saw this opening yesterday from Dan. Dan may not fly Wookiees, quadruple Wookiees very traditionally, but he has an amazing ability to juggle damage, and it almost looks like watching Aaron Bonner play triple Ks distribute damage throughout the course of his list.
New squadron number 3 takes 2 shields there.
And while we watch them roll, Dion, it looks like we have our results from our audience poll. We have 8 people in favor of Dan Murphy, and we have 12 in favor of Nami.
Oh, that's hit crit. Major
Ooh.
explosion. I think that new just got taken off the table.
Yep.
Wow.
That is not good.
No, I mean that is definitely above average offense from the Wookiees there.
Especially with just only Wookiee Commando rerolls.
Wow.
That is incredibly an unfortunate loss. He never even got to shoot his harpoon.
Well, regardless of the loss of a harpoon by Nami, Nami is playing essentially a mini Swarm, and he's been in this position so many times. He went 6-0 at the previous Houston Regional 2 weeks ago, and I'm not too worried about his mental and mental toughness right now, because he can lose that and still win this match.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys can do us a favor, I did post a link up to the Gold Squadron Podcast Facebook group. If somebody can be awesome and share that in the Nova and Minoc groups, and let's get a Reddit post out there and FFG forums, that would be super awesome. Be a lot of help. We ran here this morning to set everything up, and when we get a break, I could definitely share them if they doesn't. But if you want to be awesome, help us out. You're sitting at your computer or your phone. That'd be awesome.
And Dion, the good news for Nami is 3 of the 4 calls by the audience last night, yesterday, so that is, were on the money. And we have the audience going Nami's way today.
Okay. So if we're looking at the spread, right, we're looking at the stats.
Yep.
The Nami is the favorite coming in. Dan Murphy maybe swings the needle a little bit in the opening, being able to take out a boat. But like you said, both these players are very experienced. The game is far from over.
If I was Nami here and I had perfect knowledge, I'm sorry, not perfect knowledge, our knowledge, I'd probably target that Wookiee 4, because my feeling is these guys are going to, because they took that off, they're probably going to try to circle of death around that debris, and it looks like they are circle of deathing around that debris. And that Wookiee 4 is going to be caught behind. He's going to be the last man out right now. He needs to get one of these guys off just to reduce the permutations of damage the Wookiees are looking to do.
Well, it looks like Dan is putting himself in a spot right now where he's going to catch Quickdraw no matter what. So I expect Quickdraw to put herself in definitely in an offensive position. Oh, well, right now, if Nami just went 1 forward with those boats, that Wookiee's going to take some damage.
Well, no, I think the real question is here. I mean, do we really? I mean, I'm not sure if we would. If I would probably just go 1 straight. Oh, doing a one
banks. That's fine. You still have the missile there.
Yeah, Nami probably saw the circle of death move over there.
Well, with Quickdraw coming in, he's going to have to really make sure that.
And with that move, it makes the decision-making process very easy. We are going to target that Wookiee 4, or at least I think he's going to target that Wookiee 4, and let the chips fall where they may.
All right, here's Quickdraw, range 1 to W1. FCS target lock.
4 hits.
Yep.
So he takes
2.
Yep.
On number 1. Shields are gone.
Feeling a little bad for the players right now, guys. The audience is crowding their space pretty hard. And I know that would probably get on my nerves if I was up there.
I mean, people are here to watch games. It happens. You're at a premier event. You have to expect it at this point. Too many people know this game to not watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're on stream, you just have to be prepared for a crowd.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Nami's making a decision here whether or not to take advantage of his target locks. That looks harpoon.
That is the string we're looking for.
That's
so
4 hits
good hit
into number 4.
Yep.
So we know he's going to be taking at least 2. Both target locks come off there because one of the guys are dead. That looks like
3 total.
Yep, with his focus, he's going to be taking 3. Shields are down on that Wookiee.
It actually looks like it only took off 2 shields there.
Oh, maybe it wasn't evade. You're right.
Yeah, from the reinforce.
It's hard to tell with those with the white regional dice.
And then looks like a range 1 shot, unmodified. Where he has the target lock. That hit crit.
Goodness. Goodness.
That looks like a blank.
Yeah, reinforce. That's going to be hit crit.
So how do you guys feel about that decision by Nami to split up his fire instead of focusing down on one Wookiee?
And we got to find out what that crit is.
I think it really, I mean, with Quickdraw going in pretty much full mods onto that first one, I'd still probably split that fire just to try and start burning 2 of them down while you can.
Well, and that's the thing with these Wookiees, right, is while you do want them, like the Wookiee player wants to spread the damage, but when you start getting them to 3 and 2 whole, all of a sudden they start popping really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, like, reinforce definitely helps, but they still take damage.
So there is a crit token out there. There is a Curled Paw Creatives harpoon token put on the table. This round is brought to you by Curled Paw Creatives.
So the crit was console fire, but the reason why there's a conversation going on right now and why Brenton is in the fold right now is Nami forgot to apply the harpoon trigger. And there was some debate whether the harpoon trigger was a
must or may.
And Brent just looked at the card and it's not a may.
Yeah,
so
there
it
is
has
no
to
may in
apply.
there. It gets automatically applied.
So the harpoon does trigger, and we're going to see some splash damage possibly.
What was the crit?
Console fire.
Because they just flipped it down. What's the? He rolled the dice and then flipped it down.
It could be because of the harpoon. So they flip down the 1.
Okay, so harpoon is triggered.
So the console fire gets flipped down, and then he gets assigned a crit that I'll go check now.
Wait.
So it looks like it doesn't.
No, you just get the harpoon damage.
Yeah.
So he should have 1 more damage card on him, shouldn't he?
All
right, Wookiee Commandos, 3 hits. Lightweight frame. He's going to be taking 1. Quickdraw's ability is going to go off.
And it looks like from the harpoon condition, the other 2 lost 1 shield from it, but the W1 was a little bit too far ahead.
That's 4 hits.
The
He's going to get reinforced. Takes 3 onto Wookiee number 1. Hit, crit, crit. Looks like there's a double damage in there for sure. Damage sensor array.
and the other Wookiee is at 2 damage as well.
Okay, do we see who it was targeting?
It looks like they're going after...
New number 2.
Yeah.
3 hits. No focuses there. Shields stripped on number 2.
Do we know how many shields were stripped off of Quickdraw? Just one? it
Just
looks like?
one.
Just
Okay.
one.
3 hits. And it looks like 1 evade. And that was on number 2, range 1. Wookiee
Reroll
reroll.
of Wookiees. Just 1 hit and evaded.
Okay, cool.
So Nu 2 does not get taken off the board this turn.
He took a couple more hits there.
And Nami is cool as a cucumber right now. He doesn't look concerned at all.
Well, the trade there, I mean, he took a lot less damage
That
than
was
he
actually
could
a
have.
really good trade for Nami.
And so here's one thing I think Dan made a mistake here. He only shot quick draw once, took 1 shield off,
Yeah.
and didn't return fire. Like, he could have possibly taken another shield off. He's given Nami extra shots in this game is what he's done.
As a quick draw, I mean, like when you play quick draw, I mean, that's the perfect scenario. Is you only lose 1 shield per turn, so you can get your maximum ability or maximum pilot ability.
Okay, so they're just shields down on both.
So
And for those of you tuning in at home a little later, we are in round 8 of the System Open here at PAX South. On screen we have Nami Lee and Dan Murphy, both of whom are from the state of Texas. And Nami is down one of his new squadron pilots, and Dan is limping around with 2 heavily damaged Wookiees in his quad Wookiee list.
And N2 still has his harpoon
Yep.
left. N1 has to reload if he feels like it.
And that's the thing that people, like, even though he has only 2 dice primary, he's still got 3 dice at range 1.
Oh yeah, I
And-
mean it's still damage.
Absolutely. So he'll take it all day. I'm wondering here, I think Dan needs to get some blocks in.
Yeah.
For sure. He wants you want to control Quick Draw's arc, but the question is, what is Quick Draw going to do? I think the obvious move is maybe a sloop, but is that too obvious?
I think that would be probably a little bit too obvious at this point.
I would be really scared to sleep right now because
You're-
if I was Dan, I would be turning in with Wookiee 1 and turning out with Wookiee 3.
I think this is when Dan is probably going to split up the formation, have 2 of them go left, 2 of them go right, or go 2 of them go for just straight blocks on everything, and the other 2, the one that's really heavily damaged with the crit, bug out.
And that is a damage sensor array on Wookiee number 1. So he
Ooh, no reinforced.
no
This
reinforced.
be
I'm
big.
pretty sure it is. We can double check that, but that's what it looked like from our view up top. When I flip phone, chat stays on right side. How do I get rid? Okay, he figured it out. So all of you at home, I want to thank you guys again for joining us. We are, we have this round and 2 more. We'll be bringing you the top 4 and the final, both sponsored by Curl Paw Creatives. So yeah, this is the turn. Like, we have dials down for the boats. I think that, like, they have to pursue. So I think that was pretty obvious for Nami. But Quick Draw has a lot of decisions to make, and Dan here, I mean, I do agree. He needs to split up the formation, but at the same time, he's trying to figure out where Quick Draw is going to go. I
Yeah,
think that's the big issue, and how to protect Wookiee number 1.
If Quick Draw can get a shot on Wookiee number 1, it's basically over for that one, for him at least. I'd also like to note that there is no scum in the top 8. We have, hold on, we have 6 Rebel lists and 2 Empire lists.
Mm-hmm. Some of the other people were asking for what else is in the top. Looks
Joel
like,
with his Palp Aces.
yeah,
Yep.
we've got some pop aces. We got Nim Miranda. We have a bomber, an X-wing, and a Nim. What else is there? What else can you see
Looks like
there?
a ghost with a Miranda. That can't be right, right?
No,
No, that's a ghost
no,
with
it
an
goes
arc.
to Nora.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it could be, I'm not sure if it's exactly Nora, but Lots of Poe in the top 8.
Yep. So that's just a brief overview of what's there right now.
So how do you like being called Big Acrylic, Andrew?
I don't mind it. I kind of find it funny. You know, it's not my intention to I guess bully other acrylic providers, but you know, I try not to.
Right. But I mean, at the same time, that's
Someone's gotta win.
It's your business. It's this business. Everybody's gotta make money.
Yeah, someone's
Well,
gotta
you know,
win.
I try and provide the best product available that I can make, at least.
Exactly.
So I really don't like quad Wookiees, but I can see the statistical
The appeal's great.
appeal of them. So yes, Wookiee 1 does turn in like we thought. Given that he went a 3 hard instead of a 2 hard, I'm almost thinking Wookiee 2 is going to do a bump. Is going to try to bump as opposed to turning out.
I'd probably do a 2 straight with Wookiee number 2 here.
Yeah.
Just cover that corner of
Yep.
of the movement map.
Yeah, because you still want your reinforce actions, even on the ones that are fairly unhurt, just so they can get their reinforce and soak up as much damage as they possibly can.
And keeping in mind, Wookiee 1 does not have reinforced this turn. Yep. So they peel as we thought they would.
Well, I didn't even have to move the number. He's still next to the number. Sweet. Thanks.
He's just trying to make your job a lot easier.
That's right. I'll move it just in case Wookiee number 4 moves that way.
And according to Obi Wade, he did resolve the console fire.
Yeah, that's what that roll was for.
Yep.
But
Okay, so he's
Dan
turning out.
with
Interesting.
That is a really interesting move. Maybe he's trying to bait a shot on Wookiee 2, but Nami isn't going to take the bait.
So if Nami just did a 1 bank here with Quickdraw and called him peeling out on just about everything, you could go for the I'll say the dream shot at range 1 of both.
Yeah, you
arcs
get
here.
both sides. I know Nami's probably looking at it going like, please, please, please. He's either inside, either dying inside because he didn't think of this, or he is super pumped about what's about to happen. But I think a 2-turn fits from Nu number 2, and a 1 straight does good work as well. All right, so it looks like he's gonna take a turn off,
Okay.
which is fine.
Because he's got to reload, and he's going to catch him on the other side of that circle of death.
And this is probably when you don't slam, just so you don't put yourself into all the different arcs, because that's he's still hurt.
You got to reload here, and then 3 hard next turn.
Well, 2 still actually has he still has his harpoon, because he was the one that was range 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 2 still has it.
Do you think
he's gonna slam?
Ooh, interesting choice.
So I was thinking about that or the barrel roll. No, not the barrel. Sorry, excuse me.
I guess he's gonna just so he can turn in next turn and pop off a harpoon.
Yeah. Number 1 does a bank. You focus because you have a range 1 shot.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. It's the dream.
It's
the dream.
gonna happen.
It's working.
Now, in best case scenario here, we have for Nami.
They're both range 1.
I think this is definitely when you double tap.
Like he has to shoot out the front first. That's one thing he does have to do. So
only rolling 3. That's fine. That's fine. He's going for the double
focus. Maybe no.
And that was a blank.
Yep.
And that's gonna be 1, 2. Out the back. Target lock. Takes 2 on Wookiee number 1. I know that for sure.
It looks like there is a crit maybe in there.
Yeah, he's dead.
Direct hit.
Yeah, that's a dead Wookiee, right?
Yep. All right, so Nami is grabbing this game right back from Dan here.
Yeah, and like I said, Nami wasn't even worried when he lost that harpoon carrier, and you can see why. He's
well, and this is what's so good about this list is that if you lose 1, you still have 2 harpoons and a quick draw left.
And now he has Dan has Wookiee number 4 on our screen at 1 hole. Got a dead Wookiee and one hull.
Guys, I just want to take a picture of Nami and send it to the Gold Squadron podcast. He's just... I wish he had a suit on right now because he's just doing business.
That is a shot evaded there. Natties. We got a range 3.
Obstructed.
Obstructed. Looks like 2 hits and an eyeball.
Looks like
He
he's
might be
probably gonna
taking
take
at least one. Yep.
So there's a question here from chat that asks, do people really actually like Wookiees? And I do see the appeal. I personally don't like them, but they are a monument to variance reduction.
Yes.
Even though we have these Wookiee commandos and people scream, oh, you're just rolling foci, and it's like a more expensive wired. It's not. One, you have the reinforced, which pretty much punishes every TIE Academy ever made.
I mean, it's definitely not an exciting list to fly by any means. However, by the numbers, more times than not, you just have so much health and so much mitigation and good amount of modification for your attack that you're going to get damage through and you're not going to take a lot of damage.
Yep. Nu 2 is in a prime position right now to just do a 2 hard and just shoot off a harpoon. Maybe you do a 3 just in case maybe Dan peels out. But the thing is, like, if Dan peels out to the right and isn't shooting, Nami's okay with that.
Yeah. I think this is where you actually turn into N2 just to make sure that you don't take that harpoon and you get a 4 dice right back at him and probably take him off the board this turn.
Now, where does Quickdraw go? Does Quickdraw...
I think just 1 straight here. Or actually probably a 1 bank. That's probably the best choice.
Keep it nice and cash.
Yeah.
Barrel roll if you need to.
I almost feel as... Well, I don't think Dan's panicking, but he's probably thinking through suboptimal choices right now to try to recover from the loss of Wookiees. If I was him, if I was not in the pressure seat, I'd probably continue with my tact of the Circle of Death because that's what the Wookiees do best. But given the current board state, I could definitely see him peeling out with Wookiee 4 and Wookiee 2 and coming in with Wookiee 3, since Wookiee 3 still has full health, to bait that now reloaded Nu 2.
So Wookiee 2 is going to do a self bump to cover the 1 bank from Quickdraw.
Yep.
Or also blocks up like a 2 bank from the new number 1.
And he'll probably get a block off on N1 as well. If Nami's probably going to bank him in.
Yep, and we see Wookiee 3 does come in to try to bait that Nu 2.
Yep.
Reinforcing the back.
I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the last turn that Nu 2 is going to have on the board.
It's pretty interesting because it shows you
turning
that
out that way. Interesting.
It shows you that not only did Dan put Wookiee 3 in Nu 2's arc, but he's also putting the reinforce on the back and inviting the shot. He's saying, I'm not reinforcing against you, baby. Just shoot me with the harpoon.
Well, it's one of those where I actually drove over with Dan this morning, and one of his tactics that he was talking about is he will present a target to you to try to draw some fire.
Yeah.
The question is, will Nami fall for it? That's like that is.
Well, right now
we've made worse decisions in tournaments. Like, it happens, you know.
Well, right now, you have N2 still has his harpoon ready, definitely in range for Wookiee number 4 here. Took a focus. I'm pretty sure he's just going to go ahead and plaster number 4 and just try and take it off the board.
Ooh, that cute self bump may have backfired on Dan. Because
that was another really good self bump from Nami to ensure that he gets a range 1 shot into number 2.
So you guys at home, typically we would recommend that you train track situations like this, especially since it's at the high tier. But paradoxically, Nami and Dan are so good at this game that they basically know where everything's supposed to go. So.
But when in doubt, train track.
Yep.
If your opponent asks you to do it, especially, go for it. That's fine. So that's one hit, quick draw on number 3, fire control system,
And
reinforce.
Reinforce doesn't matter. But, I mean, that shot was really to just make sure that he has a fire control system for the next turn.
Yep.
So Nami thinking about seeing if he can possibly, he's just gonna, you know what, I'm not going to play around.
Yeah, just harpoon it. Just get it off the board. Because the Nu 2 is probably not going to live this turn.
4 dice.
No string. That's the string.
And looks like 4 hits, maybe a crit in there. Nope, just 3.
He wants to keep the focus. He only has to do 1 damage anyway. So
Yep.
Wookiee number 4 on our list is
Off the board.
This is one of those things that has me so torn on the reload action, because in pre-reload X-Wing, that would never have occurred.
No.
Your opportunity cost there is it doesn't exist, honestly. But in this world, this fearless new world of reload, we have Nami taking that munition on a 1-shot.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the Wookiee 3 bait didn't work. I think that was a Hail Mary attempt by Dan.
Looks like just 3 hits into probably Wookiee number 2 here.
That looks like 1 evade, right?
Yep.
With the
Yeah.
reinforce, yeah.
It doesn't. Well, no, he didn't. Wookiee number 2 doesn't have an evade.
No,
Oh, an actual evade.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Ignore me.
no, I was laughing at the fact that I was on a essentially a radio. I was trying to show the audience with my hands.
So a good choice here by Nami not spending the focus on the attack, right?
Yep.
Some of us do it automatically. That saved him a damage that turn.
Looks like he's safe.
He's safe, and that smart decision there
Yep.
makes it so that Nu number 2 takes 0 damage this turn.
Yep. And we are back to dials. And Dan's kind of on the edge of the ropes here. We got 30 minutes left in the round. It's going to be interesting because pretty much the win condition now is to just run away with the boats and quick draw, I guess, if you don't want to try and hit any more damage through.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about Wookiee Commandos, I know a lot of people like them, but I was, I get a lot of messages on Facebook and things, and I give people advice on lists, and one thing I had somebody tell me one time was like, Wookiees Commandos are like the best. You get to reroll all your eyeballs. It's better than Target Lock. And I go, no, it's not better than Target Lock. It's not. It gives you marginally better offense. It increases your offensive potential by 12.5%.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, you get
Right.
a little bit more modification.
Right, a little bit. It's half as good as a Target Lock.
Yes.
Just for reference there. So a Target Lock gets you 25% better, and 25 is greater than 12.5. Thank you, math teacher, Miss Adams.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing is like if you just took a focus and you roll 3 focus results instead of having to re-roll them and possibly roll into less hits, you could just spend your focus and have it all. So, but you know, for ships that only reinforce, Wookiee Commandos is great.
Mm-hmm. So we're waiting for dials now.
Am I allowed to give shout-outs?
Oh yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Well, I just wanted to shout out to my lovely wife. She's watching. She doesn't care about X-Wing, but she's watching the game anyways, and just wanted to say you're awesome.
Yeah, wives are amazing.
Yeah, she's pretty
Wives
cool.
and
She lets me
girlfriends,
do
yeah.
this.
The wags of X-Wing, right?
Alrighty, so let's hear. Let's talk about win conditions. So Dan, in order to win this game, he's in a spot now where he's like, okay, I have to take out quick draw and a Nu in order to win the game, or at least quick
just
draw.
quick draw, yeah.
Just quick draw, and
as
then
long as the other 2 are still
right,
alive.
as long as the other 2 are still alive. But I'm assuming we lose at least one of the Wookiees. But that Dan has to manage those 180 arcs. I really like quick draw's positioning right now. I know he got bumped, but being able to leverage the barrel roll, he might be able to stay out those arcs for long enough
Well, and he's Quickdraw's in a great spot here. This is probably where. Well, I mean, Dan's obviously going for a block here to try and ensure that Quickdraw can't get his fully modded shot into number 3.
I think Nami hard 2s here. Doesn't bump. I mean, does bump, sorry. Doesn't move. Forward 1, bump, takes away a shot there.
Yeah, this is why that Wookiee 3 gambit was so dangerous. Because now the Wookiee 3 is essentially saying that I'm going to try to get behind Nu 1. And that's simply not going to happen on a ship with its slam.
So we got a range 3, possibly range 2, possibly obstructed shot.
Coach, yes, Joel is in the top 8. He is in the middle of a match right now. It's hard to see what's happening, but it looks like everything is still on the board.
Target lock.
Except for the bomber.
And just 1 reinforced takes it away. Range 2 shot, unmodded, maybe 1. If you stretch that range 1 ruler.
They need to not use the FFG system open range 1.
All right, a 1 hit, and that was from Nu number 2. This is going to be obstructed to the rock on Wookiee number 2.
Nami slam dunking that 1, placing it down with authority.
There's a good chance nobody takes any damage this turn. Nu number 2 is at the biggest risk here. Maybe 3 dice on 3 dice. Now he's going to take two there. No crits. And that was on Nu number 2. So he's going to be sitting at what looks to be 1, 2, 1. He's sitting at 2 hole.
And kind of what we've talked about over the past couple of rounds here is that, Wookiee Commandos, they do give you modification, but, sometimes your dice just don't roll what you need them to roll.
Mm-hmm.
And Nu 2 is still on the board, probably 2 turns too long.
Yep. And, one of the things we talked about earlier in the game is Dan had an opportunity to possibly dig in some damage onto Quickdraw
and
early.
I think that was the wrong choice.
Right. I think when we go back, I think that's going to be the play of the game that cost Dan this game.
Yeah.
Guys, what is Nami looking at? Because he was, for the first time all game, he's moved from his stationary position. What arc is he checking out?
He's probably trying to see. I mean, this is probably the turn where you just honestly run over the debris with Quickdraw.
Oh, so
instead of trying to. I mean, because
okay.
if you do a 2 or 1 hard, you're gonna be stressed anyways. So might as well get a better position by going over.
Yeah.
And possibly taking a crit so you can double tap.
Please roll the crit. It's very rare you want to do that, but that's basically 2 shots at PS infinity, right?
Yes.
Compared to Dan's list. And he'll have modded shots on both because fire control system allows you to reapply a target lock after the attack.
Yep.
Which is why that target lock is plastered.
Yeah, and I wonder if
Wookiee number 3.
I wonder if Dan Murphy picked up on that, because it's one of those things Duncan Howard taught me, which is when you're playing, watch what the other guy's watching, and
yep.
you gain a lot of intel from that. It also helps when you're 7'8" and towering over the table.
Yeah, Duncan is fairly tall.
Yeah.
We had about I think 70 to 80 people attend.
I think it was
this PAX
73.
Yeah, we had a good amount of people. Definitely a great turnout by you all on Twitch, between 450 500 people watching.
So I reviewed some of the numbers yesterday. Unique viewers we had just through YouTube was over 1,200. And I haven't even checked the Twitch numbers yet. And I saw that by accident this morning. Like I was just flipping through things. It's like, oh.
Big acrylic monopolizing the YouTube audience.
So,
but the real hero is that Dion is actually doing the stream and taking the time out of playing the game to actually bring content to everyone. So we thank you for that.
No problem, man. I love this game, and it's somebody's got to do it. And I figure, you know what, I'm gonna be the guy to do it.
Yep.
Why not? Why not me?
Why not me? So I think here you would. I think you just one bank towards the edge of the board with quick draw to try and get that double tap off of the debris crit. This is when you would just wish you had palp.
Yeah. Palp a crit on myself.
And while we have this slight lull in actions, it would really, you'd be doing us all a huge, well, Dion and myself a huge favor if you took some time and went to curledpaulcreatives.com or their Etsy page.
Yep, that it redirects you to their Etsy page.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to check out some of the gear. I personally have a bunch of, ironically, I don't have any Curled Paul X-Wing stuff,
How
but
dare
I have
you.
a whole bunch of L5R things.
Yes, we also do other games besides X-Wing.
The fate tokens for L5R, the honor tokens, the dishonor tokens. That is the good stuff. So whether you're trying to bonsai your way through Rokugan or blow up people in space, visit Curled Paul Creatives, one of our sponsors and our biggest sponsor today.
So real quick, the first seed versus the 8th seed is AC Jaeger versus David Light. AC Jaeger wins that match 100-47. It's moving on to the top 4.
And he's running Miranda Dim, isn't he?
He is.
Is this the first time AC's lost a ship? He had a perfect MOV for a while yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
In fact, Andreas called a judge to do a debris check when it was just Inquisitor against one hull Inquisitor against the Miranda Nim with like 10 minutes to go.
It's pride, man. I don't want to lose any ships.
Andreas is not playing around, and I love it.
Oh.
Representing Mexico City.
Sorry about that.
That was an earthquake.
The world is moving.
Wait for the delayed Twitch chat. It's gonna be great. It's coming. Sorry about that, people.
There's a delay.
There's a slight delay.
About
Where's our
like,
censor
15
button
seconds.
then? Can we get a censor button? Hey, speaking of the Curled Paul Creatives, who did those target locks there? That America Canada.
I think he actually just rolled a crit.
Oh,
He did.
It's happening.
He got it. It's working.
and he rolls 3.
That's 3. He's going to be taking, with reinforced, he's going to be taking 2 on
Oh,
Wookiee
that
number
is
3.
disgusting.
And here's his actual shot. Target lock for 4.
Oh my goodness.
We know he took 2. That looks like an...
Another says can take 3.
Let's see, how many cards is it going to be? Hit, crit.
Hit crit.
Okay, so let's rip the shields off of that guy. That's going to be a total of 5 damage. And if we could find out what that crit is, we will get you guys up to date here. All the damage is there. Man, when a plan works,
Oh,
doesn't
I know,
it?
right? Just a 1 in 8 chance, right?
That's right. Here we go. New squadron into number 2, spending the focus. Gets an evade.
Nope, 1 damage.
Was it 1?
Yeah. Oh, it was a crit too.
Oh man. Money.
Lots of damage happening this turn.
And Wookiee number 2 doesn't have a shot. And we're back to dials. That was a really strong turn. We have some, sorry, we're not back to dials. The Wookiee number 3 has to take a shot here. He's hoping for some big damage on Quick Draw. Quick Draw can't retaliate because she already did.
Lots of points.
It was a major explosion to a direct hit. Every direct hit's been drawn, I think.
Last shield off a Quick Draw here. So no more double tapping for Quick Draw for the rest of the game. But I think that that was still a very good round win for Nami on that one.
So wait, what? So this guy number 3 has a crit token on it. Did you see what it was?
It was a major explosion to a direct hit.
Oh.
Okay. Still have some face-ups over there. I'm just curious what those guys.
Those are, believe it or not, those are all direct hits.
They're all. Wait, so he has. Okay, so that means that Wookiee number. That one. That's not our number 3.
Dan Light is actually trolling Dan Murphy. I mean, David Light is actually trolling his teammate. Dan Murphy over all the direct hits he's gotten. Because if he draws another one, he said you're DQ'd.
So that would put this guy at.
That's incredible that the UK has 520 people at their System Open.
They, I was actually working on my way to try and go over to the Hanover System Open, but they sold out before I could buy a ticket.
But you know what's even more cool, Andrew? The fact that we have 9 System Opens in the United States.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
blessed.
kind of nice.
Yeah. Well, so
I guess if we took the 9 and multiplied them by however many people attended, could probably get around that number.
We'll barely be there.
What I expect though, I know that for some people, the fact that the San Antonio System Open was inside PAX deterred some people because you have to pay the extra cost to get in to the PAX convention. But I believe I know the Glendale, Arizona one is a standalone.
It's just at a hotel.
Right.
Or a convention center, I guess.
The Portland, Oregon one is a standalone. The California one is inside Kubla Khan.
But it's a much cheaper buy-in.
Right. The Chicago one is at Adepticon, but that's a huge convention, and people, there's a lot more people want to go there.
PAX South, just because it's all like video games.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are really interested, I think. In
the
coming
world's
to this.
biggest LAN party, actually, right now. We can see it from here. It almost looks like one of those video game documentaries where they pan over a Japanese cafe and you feel bad about the people who've been there for 48 hours.
But it's fun here.
Yeah.
Right, exactly, because you're doing it all together.
So,
but no, I think the goal of Cascade Games, since they're taking a larger stake in how these System Opens are run, and again, Cascade runs the Galactic Opens, Kotai's, Grand Kotai's, and System Opens for FFG going forward now. They're trying to move away from the convention model, and they're trying to make them standalone events because, one, they justify themselves, and two, you don't get the added cost.
So Nami's making a great choice here. He is removing that Star Wing out of combat because it only has 2 hull left. This will give him some time first to run away because he's saving points, which is fine. Also gives him time to reload if he feels like it, and if he really needs to come back with that harpoon missile, he will. So I totally expect probably next turn something like a 3-bank to the right and a reload.
Yep. And it looks like we have a bump with Quickdraw, but he doesn't really care because he's not getting shot at.
And this is 2 dice at the back at Wookiee number 3.
Looks like 1 damage. Oh, it's another crit. I'll go check on that one for you.
Yep. It looks like it might be another. All right, let's take a look.
Yeah, Dion, this looks like a really difficult position for Dan to try to dig himself out of.
So he's going to be taking.
Number 3 has 1 health left.
He has 1 health left. All right. So.
And it wasn't a major. It was a major hull breach.
Major hull breach. Everything's face up.
Yeah.
English is my second language. I like to point it out today.
Jeez, Peter.
All right, and Nu number 1 is took 1 hull damage there, putting him at 3.
But Andrew, since you ran up there, wasn't it impressive how he had all of the direct hits just kind of lined up?
Yeah, there's so many over there. Both Wookiees are burning very bright right now.
Yep. So we're waiting for dials here. We're probably what, in turn 8 or so?
Ish.
Right. So the game will probably be like 11 rounds, probably.
I think so. I think.
I love that Nami's a tempo player. I'm a tempo player too. I almost I try to limit my rounds per game to 10 to 12 rounds. It's like being on a pitching clock because I know there's only so much my brain can think of during any given day.
So with Quickdraw here, do you just go for the sloop, just to turn yourself around?
I mean, it would give you some distance away from Wookiee number 3, and gives you a shot at Wookiee 2. So I like it. But you know what? Dan's calling it. He's like, all right, if you sloop, I'm going to get a shot at you. Do I have the damage switched?
No, but I think that one needs to be updated.
Okay.
Because let me go check.
So, yeah, what's the one that's the most healthy? That's what that one is. Shields are down. Does that one have a direct hit on it? Okay, because it has a direct hit on it or something like that, right? All right, there we go. Everything's up to date. And we will move our labels. Wookiee number 2 hiding in the shadows. And we can hide that overlay if need be, so we can see what's happening there. So one thing, as long as Dan is at a perfect 45-degree angle, if you do a hard turn, any hard turn, at a 45-degree angle to the edge, you will end up on the other side
without falling off.
You could be literally on the edge, like the front base, but you have to be at a perfect 45.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure your template's not bent. Don't do this with cardboard, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's a great acrylic sponsor that that can handle that.
Get yourself some Curl Paw Creative templates.
Shameless plug. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Well, your range rulers are actually the correct range.
That is also very true.
That's why everyone's fighting so hard. They want the pay-to-win range rulers.
Alrighty, so here we go. We have a 3 bank there. A barrel roll wouldn't get him out of arc because it's a 180 arc. So, I mean,
I think that's just when you focus up.
Yeah, focus up for defense probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't spend any tokens this turn.
I just need to. I'm sorry, guys. I just need to defend America really quickly. This has been the first system open that I've attended that's been less than 100 people. We have consistently been hovering around 200, even with a PAX Unplugged that was advertised 2 weeks before the fact. They had in excess of 200 people.
That's fine though. Attendance isn't a competition. We're all here to play X-Wing. So another update: Joel Killingsworth versus Patrick. Not sure his last name. This was the 2 seed versus the 7 seed. Joel Killingsworth of the Birmingham Barons moves on to the top 4.
Yep. Joel's making a killing. I mean, if Joel
quite literally
a Killingsworth.
if Joel matches up against AC, Joel will probably get a Mexican bounty on him because he defeated the Mexican national champion during the hyperspace qualifier.
So right now, Joel is on a 13 win streak for the entire System Open Hyperspace qualifier and yesterday and today so far.
And then on the drive home, you remind him of all the times you've crushed him. That's what you do.
Oh, no, that's only happened once.
Okay, dang it.
Palp aces.
I mean, it turns out Palp's still pretty good.
Palp, it's great. Alrighty, so we're waiting for dials here. Double checking damage. Checking the board state. They're just I don't know, Donut. I don't know where he got that.
Yeah, I
that
wonder. Sunter fell 852.
Well, according to him, he had the idea before you. So we're checking range with Wookiee number 3 here.
Yep, Wookiee number 3 on quick draw to Wookiee number 3. He has a modification here. Target lock. 2 hits.
Oh, they were checking range for quick draw into the Wookiee. Sorry, my pop.
And that's
and
one
like
more.
Wookiee
He's
number 3
gone.
is off the board.
He's gone. Let's bring that back here.
Oh, or maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, he has one. I think he had one more, didn't he?
Well, you put him back, so.
Oh, I think he didn't roll the amount of dice.
I'm not sure what the question is up here. We'll wait and we'll ask.
Uh-oh, I hope we don't have to use instant replay. I think what they're debating is whether the, well, I don't want to speculate, never mind.
Yeah, let's not. There's no need to speculate because we don't know. If somebody can make a Twitch clip of the last couple seconds of that play, maybe send it to us. We can take a look to see what the question was. I think he only took one.
There's the third one, and then still off the board.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't roll the right amount of dice the first time.
Okay.
around.
So easy enough. So that Wookiee is off the table.
And now we have one 4-health Wookiee left.
So we can take the label off. Doesn't matter anymore.
It looks like he rolled 3 focus on that.
Lightweight frame.
And looks like he's safe. Oh, no, he took 1 damage.
Took 1 damage on quick draw.
During this lull, big congratulations to our podcast friend, real-life friend, and amazing competitor, John Grasser. He won the Salt Lake City Regional last night, late hours, against a very interesting Poe, Jess, and Lowrick list. John was flying Nim Miranda, so news around the world, John Grasser, newest regional champion out of Salt Lake City.
Very nice.
So we have here that Wookiee still left alive has 4 hull left. He's got to get aggressive. Try to get some range 1 shots into quick draw in spots where quick draw won't be.
Yep.
And that new squadron up in the top right has no reason to re-engage. He's just hanging out. He's like, hey, I'm 22 points of safety.
Well, I mean, pretty much for this whole tournament, MOV doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't.
But, you know, saving points is still a constant in X-Wing, especially at this kind of tier of a tournament.
Because that's how you win the game.
That's how you win the game.
And Nami's doing a very sportsman-like thing, just moving at really quickly. So just to give Dan some agency in playing the game out.
Alrighty, we got 1 hit. That'll apply fire control system at the end of the attack.
And that is all you shoot for on that turn.
Yep.
Shooting back into quick draw here.
And he hit a focus. And it looks like we have enough to be defended.
Look at Nami move.
And
He's like
a speedy demon.
He's like a blackjack dealer here.
Right. And one thing I want to reiterate, he is moving at a good pace because he is ahead on points. My personal opinion, like, move at the pace at which you play the game. Like, I don't think you should never slow play, but I don't consider it sportsmanlike to rush if you mess yourself up. Because you can go and see yourself mistakes. Because then you end up saying, like, well, then does that mean going at your normal pace equals unsportsmanlike? So my personal opinion, I don't like to make that comparison. Sportsmanlike, what would be unsportsmanlike if all of a sudden Nami just like stopped playing?
Yeah, just stop playing.
That's the difference.
I think you could play at an average, I'll say an average consistent speed throughout the game.
Except when Andrew and I play.
Yeah. Peter and I got to play at top 64 at Nationals, and I think the first, two actual rounds of the game took, 15 minutes apiece? Lots of mental chess involved.
For 2 rounds. But I do love this by Nami, and he's probably making a game out of it too.
Oh yeah.
Just he's playing speed X-Wing now. How I would like to play X-Wing with a chess clock.
Definitely keeping the
smashing
pace
the
up.
clock with your X-Wing.
with your range ruler.
And it looks like he just barrel rolled out of arc of or the last one alive.
I bet you Nami, out of pride, is trying to place his dials faster than Dan's right now.
So new number 2 has his harpoon back. He had a no-shoot token.
Oh, he almost got there. Nami almost got there.
So I'm gonna hook that missile back up because that missile is live.
So we still have 2 harpoons up now, pretty much in the list. And at this point, as Nami, do you just kind of run in and just harpoon it off the board?
I mean, if you can.
I mean, because your expected value is going to be pretty much 2, well, I'll say 1 hit per harpoon.
So.
Do we see another slam here? Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's no reason not to. He's like, well, I can't get a shot this turn.
Oh, it's 3 straight.
So you get out.
See you later.
Nu 2 says, I'll play the game.
Just kidding.
He might just slam over the debris and just be fine. He's got 2 hole left. As long as he doesn't take a direct hit off of the debris, he's fine. That's what he's debating right now. I think that's like, tournament-wise, that is the right choice.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you have to go for points. I mean, you have to get as much stuff off the board as you possibly can.
So we are just debating the slam and seeing how to get out of it after it. He's going for it. 3 bank to the left. We have to mark the Wookiee.
I don't think he goes to debris. Oh, okay. I guess our angle is a bit funnier then.
The question there is like, can you just roll the dice first just in case you die? Was the reason why they rolled it first.
Yep. Just so you don't have to mark anything and move it and possibly mess up the board state.
Yep. So Wookiees, the Wookiee might have a range 3 shot at number 1. I don't think so though.
He'll probably get a pot shot off. But number 1 has 2 health left.
3.
3 health left. Okay, so he's still pretty healthy for a boat.
Range 2 target lock focus from Quickdraw.
And there we go, natties.
I think there's a crit in there. So
yeah, it looks like a crit.
Just a crit.
Not a direct hit. I will go check on that one.
Well, we know it wasn't a blinded.
Here we go, 3 hits. Looks like some eyeballs with Wookiee commandos. Ends up with 1 hit. And there's at least an evade in there. Oh no, he's pilot skill 0 now instead of 1. It was a damaged cockpit. Crit, 1 that really doesn't matter. You put the crit token out there out of
habit.
Out of habit. I'm not going to mark it on the screen just because it doesn't actually matter in the scope of the game. So sitting at 3 hole left on that Wookiee. He's taken a direct hit and a damaged cockpit crit. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left in the round. Right after this, we'll be bringing you the top 4 game. It does a 1 bank. It protects a little bit from the Star Wings. The Star Wings can't turn into you yet.
It also possibly gives you a shot at quick draw.
Right, if quick draw does a turn.
With the 180 degree arcs, it's actually pretty interesting at how far a 1 bank can swing those.
Right, which is why there's a joke. I swear they're not turrets, right? I mean, it's you can, if you manage them well, you can get it.
Yep.
So Nami takes a safe 1 bank, so I think he's out of arc.
Oh yeah, there's no chance now. And looks like he doesn't even have to barrel roll to get out of arc, so he can just focus up and
take his range
damage
shot through the range 2 through the rock. So there'll be 3 on 2. Target lock from FCS. Looks like we got 3 symbols. It's 3 hits. There's at least 1 blank in there, so we're at least getting 1 through.
Is it another crit? I don't think so. Nope.
Yep. It's just 1.
Dion, with less than a minute left, I think I'd like to take some time to thank our special friends and guests and sponsors for today. I'll start off with Kashyyyk Games for letting us be the premier of the exclusive provider and broadcaster of this premier event.
And then I want to thank Curl Pro Creatives for sponsoring the top 4. Also, if you want to support our content, you can feel free to go to patreon.com/Gold Squadron. We give cool swag, and it supports the channel. My patrons are the reason why we're here and why we will be at a bunch of other system opens this year.
Can you tell me a little bit about the Prime program?
Yes, and then the other thing you can do, if you have Amazon Prime, I know a lot of people do, you actually can connect your Amazon Prime account to Twitch, and if you could become once a month you get a free Prime subscription to a channel. You just click the button and you basically throws like $2 and change at the channel, and it costs you absolutely nothing as long as you have Amazon Prime. And we are officially at time. The official clock is clicked. At least they've
final round.
Called it, yeah. So this is going to be it.
I like how both of Nami's boats are just essentially kissing each other for the last round.
Yeah, they'll both one forward into each other and say, "Hold me." So Nami not able to get in that last bit of damage.
That's okay.
The boat, the Azutuk gunship gets a final shot.
Maybe kill Quickdraw just for some final points, even though technically it does not really matter.
It'll feel good.
It'll feel good, yeah. I still think this game goes back to the round where he chose to split fire and not put all guns into Quickdraw.
Yep. Because Quickdraw's done the most work.
Absolutely.
In this game.
And that's it.
And that's it. That's the game.
Nami giving Dan a great big hug.
And moving up to top 4.
Absolutely.
Wonderful, wonderful match.
All right, what's up, Twitch chat? I did not deserve to win that game. So 2 things. I did not deserve to win that game. He got a lot of direct hits. Also, learn rule of 11. Please.
Yeah.
And that was Nami bringing you lots of information.
Some other matchups here. We had Mark Murphy versus Kent. Mark Murphy moves into the top 8 playing
Are they related?
AC Jaeger. And are Mark Murphy and Dan Murphy related? I don't think so. And we just had Nami win. All right, so we have the full bracket. Let's see. Let's see. You know what? We just saw Nami. What do you want, sponsor?
Man.
You want your boy?
I wouldn't mind having Joel on stream.
All right.
I wouldn't mind seeing Pal Bases.
So here we go. So we're going to have Joel Killingsworth versus Nami.
You want to bring us home, Dion?
Yep. We will be right back with the top 4 match. Thank you for watching the top 8, and we'll be back.
Thank you.
Thank you.